All right, we got workout B today, and what you need is your band and either a chair or a bench, a bed, anything that you can have that you can put like your back on for our last exercise today. So the first thing that we're gonna do is a lunge matrix. So last month we did the static lunge. So you should be feeling pretty good about your lunge position. Now we're gonna add some movements to that lunge in different directions. So we're just hitting it in a lot of different ways. So we're thinking about the same ideas as we go. We don't want to shift too far forward, so we're not jamming anything into our knees. So when we do these, you're going to do all of your reps on one leg first. So, and I put 5 in there. If 5 seems to be too much for you, then drop it down. That's okay. Or just rotate through, your 5 on that side instead of doing all 5 to the front. So, but the way that I'm going to show you right now, we're going to do, so you're going to do a front lunge and step back. So you step forward. Again, we want to make sure that we're lowering our center of gravity and then drive back. Forward, drop, and back. So we have 5 front lunges as we go here, keeping that core nice and strong and tight, and back. Once you do 5, then you're going to come up and out on a diagonal. So almost like you're going to go and run on the diagonal. So you take that step and drive back. We don't need to lower super far. I'm not even at a 90-degree angle. I'm not all the way down. But you're just enough to step forward, drop a little, and come back. Core is nice and strong. We're pushing off that front leg to come back. So we do 5 of those. Then we're gonna go lateral. So we sit back. And for this one, really make sure that you keep that core engaged. We're gonna sit back into that hip as we come. So it's almost like we're coming out in and then coming right back out. We come down and back out. So we want to sit back into that hip and then explode out of it to come back to the center. So that leg is doing the pushing. After you do 5 to the side, we're going to do kind of like a drop step lunge and come back to the front. A drop step lunge and back to the front. So like if you're defending somebody and you take that drop step, but then they decide to go a different direction, you're going to come back after them, you're going to come back forward. So you drop step and then come back forward. Drop step and come back forward. And then last, now you're going to take that same leg you've been working, keep that foot forward, you're going to drop the opposite leg back for a reverse lunge. So everything stays working that same leg all the way through, and you'll do 5 of those. Then you'll go to the other leg and do the same thing. So you start with the 5 front lunges, and then you'll go to the 5 diagonal lunges, and then you'll go to the 5 lateral lunges, and then you'll go to the 5 drop lunges, and then you'll go to the 5 reverse lunges. Okay? So once those are done, you can shake those legs out. They're gonna be burning, I'm sure. And then we're gonna go to a 5 each mountain climbers, 3 ways controlled. So these are not for speed, it's for control. You're gonna be in your push-up plank position. If you need to, you could even put your hands up on a bench or do it with your hands on a wall if you need to make it easier. So your progression would be hands on a wall, hands on a bench, hands on the floor. And so as we do these, let's see, we'll go on an angle here. You're going to be in your push-up plank position. Body's in that perfect straight line. Core is strong. You can kind of shift from side to side just to make sure your balance is even on both sides. And then you're going to do mountain climbers. 5 to the front. So you're just bringing your knee towards your chest. Step it back. Knee towards the chest. Step it back. 5 on each leg. Then you're going to do spiders. So bring your knee towards your elbow. They don't need to touch. The body is staying strong and stable. Your core never changes as you move the legs. So 5 to each side. And then you're going to cross body. So opposite knee to opposite elbow, opposite knee to opposite elbow. And do 5 to each side. Again, if this is too challenging, move it to a higher surface or just do less. Do 2 of each or 3 of each, and then move on until you can build up over the weeks to 5 of each of those. Our next one is our band side step squat. So we're gonna grab that mini band, we're gonna place it just above the knees, like we did for our side steps in our warm-up, in our pre-workout. So now we're gonna be doing side step squats. So we have the band around our knees. We're gonna take a step out, come down into a squat, step back together, and then step to the other side. Come down into a squat, step back together. So step, squat, together, step, squat, together. You're gonna do 10 to each side. So 20 total squats. Again, you don't need to lower super far down, but your main goal when you do squat is that you're keeping your knees pushing out into the band and then coming together for that, okay? So 10 to each side of those. Then you're gonna come down to the ground and do bicycles. So we have 25 of these, and you have your option of doing 25 just stable, steady pace, or you could do 5 slow, 5 fast, 5 slow, 5 fast. Whatever is feeling comfortable for you. But just like with the dead bug that we had, you want that lower abdominals to stay controlled and strong and down. Then we're gonna curl ourselves up, and when we do these, I want your fingertips light and easy by your ears. We're not interlocking our hands and putting them behind our head and really cranking on our head. No, we're just gonna have our hands loose by our sides. We're gonna bring our knees up, just like that dead bug start, and then we're gonna go opposite elbow to opposite knee and come back to the center. Opposite elbow to opposite knee and back to the center. They don't necessarily need to touch. Keep the lower abs engaged as you do this. And again, you could do 5 in this fashion where it's nice and slow and controlled. And then you could go to fast, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, back to slow. 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay? So you could go nice and slow for 5 and then fast for 5 and do that for 25 reps. Okay? And then we're gonna go to our next one. We need a band back again. We're gonna do band skaters. 4 forward and 4 backward. 3 times. So we have the band back up just above the knees. And for this, you're going to be doing like think of like a skater hop forward on a diagonal. Okay? So we go forward on a diagonal, forward on a diagonal, forward on a diagonal, forward on a diagonal for 4 forward and 4 backward on each leg. 4 forward on each leg, 4 backwards on each leg, and then you're gonna do that 3 times. So you're doing 4 steps on each leg forward, 4 steps on each leg back. You're really trying to push from side to side. These you should really be feeling in those glutes. You have loose knees as you go. And then 4 back for those last ones. Perfect. And then lastly, you're gonna keep the band exactly where it is. You're gonna go to your bench or step or chair or couch or whatever you have available to you. And these are called hip thrusts. So we're gonna do 15 hip thrusts with the band just above our knees. We wanna keep the knees pulling apart. You're gonna have from your shoulder blades up on the bench, okay, and that's it. So we don't want our whole body on the bench, just the shoulder blades. And from here, we're just gonna drop the hips down. We have our knees pulled apart, we'll drop our hips down, and then drive our hips to the sky. So it's just like the glute bridges that we did, but we're just taking it off the ground and keeping our shoulders on a stable surface elevated. So we drop the hips, squeeze the glutes, the knees are pushing out, pause, and come down. Lift, pause, and come down. These, especially after doing those skaters, are really gonna make those glutes feel pretty good. Let me see if I can get a better angle for you so you can see what my shoulders are doing here. So again, just my shoulders are on the bench. My knees are pulling out wide, but my feet are hip width apart. And then I drop my hips down, squeeze my glutes, and lift my hips. Down, come, up. So my knees, hips, and shoulders are all on a straight line. And down and up. 25 of those. And then you'll just rotate back through that for 2 to 3 more rounds. And that's it for workout B. Have fun.